Hey everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of High School Stories. And I gotta say, the amount of support on the first two episodes just blew me away. Both episodes have got like 20,000 ratings on it each, and that's just astronomical, and it's amazing. I didn't think that you go to show up to High School Stories like you do. So first and foremost, thank you. I love you guys. Keep it up. Let's have like 20,000 as the milestone. So like the crap out of this video, and just if you want to comment what I should cover in next week's episode, I'll give a few PSN codes and Xbox Live codes. Yeah. So, anyways, High School Stories. A lot of people wanted me to talk about my run-ins with the law, when I got in trouble at the principal's office and stuff like that. So, for the most part, I try to stay away from getting into trouble. I think that's the goal. For most people, no one wants to do something bad and get in trouble. So, for the most part, I was a goody two shoes in the eyes of the law. I did a few things that I'm not sure if I'm willing to discuss right now. Maybe after the statute of limitations goes away, maybe I can give you some stories. But this goes back to the sports episode where I was awkward and I was afraid of new things. So basically, I was never late for class. If I was late to a class, we had like 10 minutes in between passing time between classes. So usually I would get there within the first 5 minutes or so and then just hang out on the wall like a cool kid, smoking a cigarette. No, I never smoked a cigarette in my life. But, I'm just trying to paint that image. I was on the wall with my friends before class, so I was never really late. But if I was late, I would just go home because I didn't want to go to the late room. I just didn't want to. I didn't know how it was. I was never late. If I was tardy for school, I'd be like, oh, going home. I just didn't want to do something new that I didn't know how to do, and I was uncomfortable with the new situations. I was scared, honestly. I was scared of new things, and so I did not. I was never late. I was never tardy. I did miss a lot of school. I left. Actually, this is a good transition. So I would walk home from school, and school was about 5 miles or so away from my house. And I know that that's a huge walk. That's a really, really long walk. But I like to think about how the universe always gets more populated with, people commenting in my comment section to check out their channel with gypsies and just the ever expanding universe. I don't know. I would just think about stuff, and I liked walking. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, boy, are you crazy? I could give you a ride home." I was like, "Nope, I just walk. I'm cool. I like to walk." So one time, the police were camping right outside the door, literally 15 feet. I got out the door, like, "Do you got a pass?" I had a pass from my teacher because we were talking about like my classes for next year, and it was kind of like I was late, but oh my God, that smoke. I hate the smoke. There's so much smog in Black Ops nowadays. Oh, anyways, so I had this little pass, but it was to get back into gym class because we were talking about my classes for next year. So I was a little late to that class, but I had an excuse because we had an appointment. Anyways, so I had a pass. I showed them the pass, and they're like, "Nope, come with me." So me and a few, it was like 5 other people, were in this little van. And we got took to like really far away because the Southside Detention Center, Police Center, I don't know, it was full or something, or it was closed. So we went all the way to the north side, and I was like, oh, I had to call my mom. She had to come and get me. Like 8 hours later, it was just so boring, and I was like, oh, this has gotta suck. So I got a mouthful from my mom, and it was like. Oh, it was just a boring few hours of the day. So that happened. So I was skipping home like a little fruitcake. I was skipping my way the 5 miles home, and I saw a police van pull over. Maybe that's, I don't know, 120 feet, 200 feet in front of me on the path I was walking. And like I said, I like to walk, but I would. Sometimes after a while I would like to catch the bus, but I didn't want to wait. That was one of the things. I didn't want to wait for the bus to come, the city bus. So I would walk. I didn't want to just stand there just like a sitting duck. Hey, I'm skipping, like right outside the school. Come get me. I didn't want to do that. So I would walk, and so I see this car, this police van, parked like 200 feet in front of me, and there's like an alley right to my right. So casually, with swag, I just like, casually just walked into the alley, and I knew the cops were camping for me. They were waiting for me to come, but they didn't end up getting me because I went away. And then so I was in the alley walking, and there was like cuts between the houses, like the space in between the house, and then I see the bus go past me. I'm like, really? You had to come right then and there? Are you serious? Like, I walked, I don't know, 2.5 miles waiting for the bus, and the bus comes right when I had to avoid the police. So there's another quick story that I should. Actually, I'm going to put a second gameplay because I know you guys like high school stories, and there's a few instances where I got into shenanigans and trouble. So this was in freshman year, and we were in art class, and I loved art class. One, because it was an easy class, and two, there was just a lot of things that, look at this douchebag, man. Just put me out my misery, goddammit. So I liked art class, and I had a few. One clay class, the group of, like, the table of people I sat with would always get this clay, and we would throw it on the ceilings, and it would stick on the art class, on the TV for the art room, pretty much everywhere in the art room. And then we would take like a big hunk of it, and I'm trying to make it rain right here, trying to show off for a final kill cam, but we would just throw it everywhere, and and it was like all over the school because it was so sticky. And yeah, that stopped. We got banned. They didn't know it was us, but clay class like got banned, and they like put on some strict rules where it was like, you couldn't smuggle a piece of clay out that classroom. I'll tell you, there's no more clay on the ceilings after that. But another instance with art class, there was these little beads. I don't know what, they weren't for art class, but they were for some other class. But there was billions of little beads, a lot of little beads, and we got, I don't know, probably 40,000 of them, a whole bunch of big, like a 2-liter bucket of them, and we threw them on the floor, and nobody, I mean, a few people fell, but a few people were like slipping and falling, and I felt kind of bad, but at the time, I feel bad now saying it, but at the time, I was a young white boy, 7th Street hooligan, from 7th Street ghetto, whatever. I didn't really care. I was just trying to have a good time. This guy's trying to give me a blowjob. So yeah, that was pretty funny. That was a little prank that we pulled. It didn't really get into trouble either, but it was just like restrictions on the beat. Man, art class, man, we ruined art class for everybody back in the day. Another instance, I should say another instance, and I got lucky that I didn't get into trouble for this one either. So I was looking at one of my high school football teammates, his homework, because I wanted to copy it because I didn't do the work, and he did not want to let me copy. I was like, let me get this for like 5 minutes, and he was like, no. I was like, what do you mean no? I want to copy. What does it matter? We're gym class. We're sitting down. It's like 5 minutes before the bell rings. Can I copy this, bro? He's like, no. I'm like, and then he tried to snatch it out of my hand. I respect if he said no. He doesn't want to get in trouble, that we had the same answers, and honestly, I would just like change my answers a little bit. I would kind of paraphrase. So actually, let me go back a little bit with copying. I got a story with copying about. Okay, so this kid back in 6th grade, I was like really good. I was a good student and everything. Something turned downhill in high school. So this kid Sam would buy my homework for like $2 a sheet. The sheet was like 40 questions, whatever, and he would just copy it straight off. So apparently, nobody did this assignment, this homework assignment, and everybody in the class, one person didn't do it, but everybody else copied my sheet, and it was such a stupid answer that I got wrong. It was a 4-letter word. I can't remember what it was exactly, but like the correct answer was star, and I put like moon or something like that. And it was such an easy thing. Like climbing ladders is apparently hard for me, but it was such an easy thing, and everybody copied it, and the teacher just flipped out. We used to get free snacks, no free snacks. I'm ruining everything, man. I ruined half my high school experience, and my this was in 6th grade, like I said. But yeah, that was interesting that everyone copied. So getting back to what I was talking about with the copying in gym class. So he snatched a paper, and I was like, "Don't be rude to me. I'll give it back to, but don't disrespect me." And then like he snatched it, and I was like, "I snatched it back." Then he snatched it. Then it ripped, and then like he threw a little punch, but it wasn't a major punch. You know, he hit me. Then I hit him back, and I was walking away like, you know, I didn't want to get in trouble. We're both from the, you know, football team. I didn't want any football drama in there, so I walked away. But my nose was bleeding, and it was bleeding bad. And this happened because, not that he hit me hard, but my nose would always bleed in high school. Because crack is some bad shit. No, because me and Buddy 7th Street, were, or was it Julio? I think it was his brother Julio. We were wrestling, you know, just horsing around naked. And somehow a phone, the little antenna from the phone, got stuck up my nose, and like it did something right there, and it just bled. It would bleed randomly. And like right now, I was going to the doctor back in Milwaukee. I should actually go back to him. But my nose is like permanently like stuffed up on one side, and it's weird. Like it switches back and forth. I guess there's some like broken cartilage back there. I was gonna go to surgery, but I'm scared of surgery, and like I missed an appointment, and then it's just like got thrown under the rug. Anyways, get it back to it. So my nose was bleeding. I'm like, well, I can't let this motherfucker let my nose bleed. He made me bleed my own blood. This is unacceptable. So as he was fiddling with his paper, I'm like, I walk up behind him, and I just I hit him with the palm of I like swang, like I'm extending my arm all the way out to my right, like shoulder level all to my right, and then I just like bring it, and I hit him. I kind of sucker punched him. I'm not gonna lie, but it's, you know, whatever. I sucker punched him, and I knocked his glasses off. I almost knocked him out the bleacher, and then I just walked away like, man, you made me bleed. Payback. Boom. And and then a security guard came, and he took me away. And the security guard was from he was like a football coach, and usually like any kind of fight would get, and I guess this was like a punch here, punch there, walk away, sucker punch, whatever. But usually that would get you suspended or anything. All that happened to me was that I got to eat lunch in the auditorium, and that was pretty much it. So I walked up to him after this little confrontation. I was like, all right, we're cool. You know, no hard feelings. Sorry about your homework. Sorry about the sucker punch. He was like, sorry for making your nose bleed. You know, I shouldn't have been a douchebag about it. I don't know what happened. And then we were cool. I was like, don't tell anybody. I don't want to get in trouble, man. I can't do it. I can't go back to jail, man. I can't do it. So we're cool. Me and him always had a little beef, though. His name was Jacob, like Wallershinsky or something. Shout out to Jacob. So like me and him, like we fought a little bit in 7th grade. I don't know, over a seat. Like he pushed me, and then he sucker punched me that time. I guess this was kind of payback for that. And then we always had a little beef. I don't know. So I hope you enjoyed. Gameplay wasn't the greatest, just some random stuff I put together. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a rating if you're still watching at this point. I think I deserved it. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys later.